Good afternoon. In this short video I want to analyze with you some example related to the find Linux shell command. The find command is used to search on a given directory some files that matches a given criteria in terms of name, dimension and so on, and on the list of files that are analyzed perform some operations. You can find all these examples in this web page at the address scans.it/os/find. So we can proceed by analyzing them one by one. So in the first example is the one you show here. We want to use the find command in order to search in the current working directory that is identified by the dot symbol all the file with exactly this name that is composed by this part .txt extension. We can perform this search using the DOS notation, that is this one that makes use of the minus name directive, or using the minus regex notation. So in this case we found all the files that has this name in the current working directory, because we apply the find command on dot, that is the current working directory, and we analyze only the files that are in dot slash. So remember that the main difference between minus name and minus regex that makes use of find regular expression is that with the minus regex I have to place a regular expression that has to match all the relative path of your file or of your directive. So since here we have dot slash, we analyzing only the files that are within the current directory and not all the files that are inside some subdirectory, for instance /dir1. Okay. So this regular expression, this find, is different with respect to this find, because in this case we find all this file in the current working directory and on all the subdirectory of the tree starting from the current working directory. Here, as said, we analyze only the current working directory. If we want to have a regular expression that is equal, similar to the one you see here, we have to produce this other find, in which I remember that the dot character in a regular expression represent any character with the exclusion of the new line. So here we use the slash dot in order to identify the character dot and not the meaning of dot in regular expressions. So this dot slash stands for any possible sequence of character. So in this case the path slash dir1 slash dir2 slash a b c b a dot txt is correctly matched, because you can understand the first part of the regular expression, the one that finish here, dot star, matches from this dot to this last backslash. Then we have a backslash followed by the file name we want to search. Okay, so remember that in a regular expression you have to match all the regular expression. Here we have something different. We want to find all the regular file. So in the previous regular expression we found both regular file, directory, if you want, pipe, named pipe, symbolic link, what do you want. Here we restrict our search on regular file and we use the minus type f directive. So here we want to search a file that has two A that can be small or big that are separated by one character and has extension .txt. So we found, for instance, I write a random word. This file is correct because I have an A and a big A that are separated by an X, that is any possible character. We can have also two big A, two small A separated by other character and so on. And also this part and this part can be optional, so we can have a file that starts with big A or finish with big A, small a, and so on. Okay, here we have exactly the definition of the type of file we want to found, but in any case we can use the name directive or the regex directive that are more or less the same. In this case we use the DOS syntax, in which we use the question mark in order to detect any possible character, and we use the star operator in order to detect 0 or more repetition of any possible character. So this star in the DOS notation is equal to the DOS dot star in the regular expression notation. Okay, this way we can recognize the file that matches this one. As I said, remember that with the name you have not to match all the file, but it is enough that you match only a part of the path in order to perform the matching. Instead, here with the .regex we have a regular expression that matches the first part of your file, that are the directory part. Here you have a regular expression that matches the last part, and you have the extension. I made only an error because analyzing this regular expression I see that a file must start with a small a or a big A. Sorry for the inconvenience. Here I use the -i name instead of that name, that is the version that is case insensitive of the name directive. Here in regular expression I use a class that takes small a and big A in order to take into account that in our name we can have small a or big A. Here we have another example of regular expression. I found on the parent directory all the file that matches this regular expression, in which I have a starting part of the file, and in this case I have so my file can start both with an A or can start with other character. Then I have a lowercase a, any character that separate another lowercase a. Here I have the finish of my file, and I have the extension. So for example, dot slash dir1 slash b a c a dot txt can be matched because this dot star can match from here to here, dot star. Then I have the first A, the dot that is the character C, the second A, dot star is 0 or more repetition, in this case I have 0 repetition, and I have the extension dot followed by txt. I can use on the find command also other directive with man find. So if you type man find, you have really many options. In this case I found on the home directory, that is the tilde, all the file that has not this permission. So if you precede your directive with the not, you perform the negation. So all the file with the exception of the one that has a specific permission. Here I found on all my file system all the directories that has these permissions, and on the directory I found, I changed the permission on 755. So here I add the exact functionality in order to say that for all the files that are matched by defined operation, manage this, execute this command, that is, change this permission in this way. Here, this one is a common notation of find, because this part is the file name. So basically define the command, execute this command each time for each file name found by this command, and the file name is substituted in this symbol. So if I found the file a.txt that matches this one, dir one that is matched by this found. In this case, the command execute is change mod 755 dir 1. Here I have another example. Found in the current working directory all the file with as extension .txt and remove them. Remove -f, and here you have the file. Here I found on the /tmp directory all the files that are empty. So all the file on which, if you do, for instance, ls-l, has a dimension of 0 bytes. Here is more complex, this command, because the regular expression defined in find are a subset of the real regular expression. If I want to use the complete set of regular expression, I need to use a specific regular expression set that is POSIX extended. So in this way, I say to find, to use the POSIX extended type of regular expression, and here I can use in the -regex directive all the things that are defined on POSIX extended regular expression. In particular, normal regular expression of find does not contain the OR operator. If you use POSIX extended, you can use this operator. So here I found all the file starting from the current working directory and in all the directory that has the name x.txt or y.txt. Here this part matches any kind of directory or subdirectory, then I have the slash, and then this OR say that my file can start with x or y followed by .txt. There are some other directive that takes into account, for instance, the username. Here I found in the directory /home all the file directory and so on that belongs from user Stefano and as extension .txt that can be lowercase, uppercase, or even both, some uppercase and some lowercase, or what do you want. Second command, I found in /home all the elements that belong to the group developer. I found on all the file system all the file with size greater than 50 megabytes and size lower than 100 megabytes. So remember that by default the find operator use an AND. So if I add here type is equal to f and other option, I found on slash all the elements that has a dimension greater than 50 megabytes and has a size lower than 100 megabytes and are of type file. Is an implicit AND. Again, I found on the file system all the file that has extension .mp3 has a size greater than 10 megabytes, and I remove them. So I found all the big file of type mp3 and I remove them from my file system. I have also the possibility to use the OR operator, but I need to use this syntax. I found on the current working directory or the file that has extension .c or they have extension .sh. If I want to use the OR operator, I need to use parentheses, and in order to use parentheses I have to write backslash open parentheses backslash close parentheses and the minus o, that is the OR operator. The OR operators works correctly both with two operands, like the example I show you here, or with more than two operands, like in this case. I find in the current directory all the file that has in the name the string cache, the string HTML, or the string HTML. There are some useful commands related to time. I found in my home directory all the file that has a modification dates more recent than 1440 minutes, that is 1 day. I can use also the option minus, this is the option minus m minutes, so I pass the minutes. I can use a same option that is minus m time, that the things I wrote here are expressed not in minutes but in hours, so these two regular expressions are equivalent. Finally, I can mix them as I prefer. So here I found in my home directory all the file that are regular file that has a modification date between 10 to 14 days. So I express a range. So actually the possible option, the possible combination of the option in the find command are really big, but I think this small guide is a useful example on the main important properties related to the find command. Thank you.